So in this book, you'll find there are other chapters. There is a chapter called Lankavatara Sutra. That is ultimate. And there is a very crispy chapter called Diamond Sutra. And Diamond Sutra is the ultimate meditation. There is nothing beyond that. But Lankavatara Sutra will explain you about meditation, what is it, and what are the steps, what are the different levels. So there are total 10 levels of meditation. And 10th stage is the ultimate stage. But the Diamond Sutra chapter will explain about only 10th chapter, the 10th level. But the first chapter while you are studying will prepare the ground for that.
Okay.
Without understanding this, you cannot understand the earlier one, later one. There are some topics which are common. So in common class, I cover only those topics. But there are a lot of topics which are exclusive for your course only. Like yoga course, what normally yoga people learn here, or people enroll in, like yoga teacher training course. So that contains everything, because everything is part of yoga only. Even pranayama is part of yoga. Meditation is part of yoga. Ayurveda is also part of yoga. Healing is part of yoga. Everything is part of yoga. So in this course, you learn everything, but not in detail. But in 300 hours, you learn in detail. You learn meditation in detail, like you're learning meditation in detail. This is a very vast course. You'll be learning pranayama also, advanced pranayama in that, in 300 hours. You'll be learning advanced meditation, you'll be learning advanced mudras, advanced bandhas, advanced asanas, everything advanced in 300 hours. But if you learn only pranayama, then that is focused only pranayama. But still, you will have to learn some basics of asanas, some basics of mudras, some basics of meditation also. Because if you are not practicing meditation in pranayama, then you lose the core essence of pranayama. So in yoga, everything is there. Like in yoga therapy, like Tamara is doing only yoga therapy. Yoga therapy is different than you are learning, because Yoga Alliance is very particular that you don't have to use yoga therapy. If you are only yoga certified teacher, you cannot teach yoga as a therapy in US. You know that, right? You know, because you are American, so you know. So for yoga therapy, you need another license, another certificate. Why? Because there are some delicacies of therapeutic approach to yoga. So this yoga is for health and wellness. But in India, Indian approach is different than American approach towards yoga. Indian approach to yoga says that yoga has, possibilities. Yoga has capacity to offer you everything, from physical fitness to super enlightenment. Yoga can give you everything, from physical fitness to supreme enlightenment. What you call enlightenment, nirvana. So nirvana is supreme enlightenment. What Buddha attained. So when you attain Buddhahood, that is called supreme enlightenment. Supreme enlightenment. There is nothing beyond that. So that is also part of yoga. This is Indian approach. This is traditional yogic approach to yoga. Okay. So you are fortunate that you have come to India and you are learning authentic yoga in India, being in India. As such, in ancient age, the entire world was one. And even still, at present moment, psychology is a science which is common for everyone, isn't it? Psychology is studied by Westerners, by Easterners also. Science is secular, science is universal. Similarly, yoga is not a religious thing. Yoga is scientific, very scientific thing. And I believe that every country practices yoga in different forms. Every country. Every culture has some parts of yoga with different names, with different forms, but they practice that. Okay. like when I was in Colombian embassy, and they were sharing that their ancestors were practicing yoga, Colombians. There were some sculptures they were exhibiting in their exhibitions, and that was showing that how they were practicing yoga 20,000 years ago. They were practicing yoga. So that time, world, of course, this earth was same earth, but the population of the entire world was very less population that time, very less population. But now there is massive change in population. So that time there were some common practices how to live the life. You may have heard about evolutionary psychology, where you are taught about how psychology evolved. In the beginning, the human being was like animal, right? Same like animal. Human being did not know how to farm. They were eating the raw meat. Humans also, like animals. They were eating meat. They were not understanding about the grains. They did not have idea about agriculture. So they're living like animals without houses, naked like animals. But psychology was evolved slowly. They learned they discovered the fire, right? Then they started cooking meat, right? Then they started crops and harvesting, farming. Then some of them turned to as vegetarian, some remained non-vegetarian. Then they learned how to make a family, mating, parenting, then society, politics, then fashions. Fashion was evolved later on. People did not have idea about fashion, right? Entertainment, then economics, business, everything was evolved slowly. And there are a lot of inventions or discoveries made in 19th century. In 20th century, people were more evolved. And now in 21st century, the world is changing very fast. After every 5 years, things are changing. If you'll not upgrade yourself, you'll remain outdated. Although you're 60 years old, but you'll have to upgrade yourself. Every day, every year, you have to upgrade. Okay? But there are certain things which never change. There is truth which never changes. That is eternally same. And that is called eternal truth. There are some truths which are changing all the time. So truth also changes. But there is one truth which never changes. It is called eternal truth. And that is, truth means principles. Truth means principles that we have evolved. But there are certain truth means principles which are eternally same. And that was same 20,000 years ago, even millions years ago. That will remain same after a million years later also. And that is called principles. Right? Like yoga has principles. Pranayama has principles. Meditation has principles, which never change, which will remain same. The textbooks, this is original textbook of yoga. It's called Upanishad. Okay. This part of Veda, or this ultimate part of Vedas. And there are some sutras, not all some, but all the sutras are eternally truth. This, like Yoga Sutra. Yoga Sutras are always same. What is true now, that will remain even millions years later. And in your manual book, in your training, there is a chapter called History and Philosophy. So in history, you learn who discovered this thing, And when you go into the history, you'll find that there's no clue who discovered. But still we believe that Shiva discovered. We believe that Vishnu discovered. We believe that they discovered. And in Indian philosophy, we believe that there are three deities who don't have clue when they came into existence. No clue. And who were their parents? They did not have parents. So we believe that they simply appeared. So God took forms, and God himself or herself or itself, because God is beyond gender, right? So you cannot use himself or herself or itself. That is beyond words. But still we have to use. So God manifested in forms of Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva. So Brahma gave different techniques of yoga called Vedas. So Vedas came from Brahma. And he also just discovered. He was not the inventor. Invention is when you give birth to something. That is called invention. You cannot invent truth. You can just discover the truth. Okay? Truth is not invented. Truth is simply discovered. And you know the word discover. Something which was covered, you have to remove, and that manifests. It's called discover. Invention is you give birth. You produce something new. That is invention. So truth was discovered by Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva. And the Brahma's yoga is called Jnana Yoga. Jnana means Raja Yoga. Vishnu is called Karma Yoga. And Shiva is called Hatha Yoga. Hatha means power. Hatha means power. And Karma is action, perfection. And meditation is Brahma's yoga. So these are different three forms of yoga. And in these sutras, yoga sutras, they have given are eternally truth. Like Shiva says that power wins. Hatha yogas, single line is power. So you try to reach yoga through power. It's called Hatha yoga. It's either physical power or mental power or spiritual power, but that is power. Okay? And action, karma. Vishnu says karma. He says everything is karma. If you will not make efforts, you will not reach anywhere. Just dreaming is not enough. Planning, visualizing is not enough. He says action. He believes in action. He says if you will not make efforts, you will not grow. So in advanced practice, the Karma Yoga says there is technique called effortless effort. That is effortless effort. Of course, there is effort, but you don't make efforts. That naturally happens. But that is part of advanced Karma Yoga. And Jnana Yoga is mind. Raja is mind. So mind is called planning and action and then power. Abundance, power, any kind of power. So there are forms, different forms. Okay. So there are these truths which are eternal truth, which you have to discover. And that is why you are here to learn principles. Like you have come here, learn to only techniques of pranayama. Right? And you will learn that, then you will apply into your practice. So in practical, you will be just applying the techniques, what we have learned in theoretical class. Be that about yoga, be that about meditation or pranayama, whatever. So in this theory class, you will learn, and practically you will apply. So here if you have learned, you say, yes, I have understood. But that will not change if you not practice. Practice is only something which will make differences. Only practice. But practice without knowledge will lead you to the wrong direction. Will worsen the things. May cause some problems also. Therefore, mind is Raja, action. And in combination with these two things, you create power. You create energy. Clear? So you have to learn principles. When principle says that you have to meditate in this way, then meditate in this way, then you'll find that effect. But techniques is saying something and you are practicing in different way, then you'll not progress. You will have to be instrumental in application of the techniques. You'll have to be sincere enough. You'll have to be smart enough to apply the techniques. Right? Suppose Anulom Vilom Pranayama. There's a pranayama called Anulom Vilom. And what are the principles of Anulom Vilom? You have to learn and then you apply. Anulom is go. Vilom is come back. In Sanskrit, Anulom is called in this way, go. Vilom is coming back. Opposite. Reverse. Vilom. Antonyms, synonyms and antonyms. So antonyms means Vilom and synonyms means Anulom. So when you breathe in through left and breathe out through right, this is called Anulom. But when you breathe in through right and breathe out through left, it's called Vilom. So this is eternal truth. This was practiced 20,000 years ago, and this is practiced now. This will be practiced later on also. And textbook says, if you practice Anulom Vilom Pranayama, then you will have no sickness, no illnesses. There is no side effects of this pranayama. They are truth, and this will remain the same truth always. This will not change. So there are some pranayamas which have side effects. That will remain always true. Like an asana. You practice an asana, you learn an asana, and you must know what are the benefits. And the benefits will remain same all the time. Now, 20 years later, 20,000 years later, effects will remain same. Therefore, yoga is capable to cure lots of diseases if you practice in right way. But again, if you practice the wrong way, that will create problems. That will give you sickness. That will damage your health. Therefore, proper training. Proper training. Not even from the book also. From the master, from the guru, who has witnessed, who has experienced. If you learn from book will not correct you. So you have to practice in front of me. We have to observe if you need some corrections. Like you are doing Kapalbhati Pranayama, right? I observed and I corrected you. But could book correct you? No. So you cannot learn from book. Or YouTube will correct you. Even YouTube videos are playing and is watching you. Can that correct you? No. Therefore, live guru. That is different thing. But how you are doing, YouTube will not correct you. That will not watch you. Who will watch? Live guru, live master, live instructor, live teacher will observe you, will correct you. Will ask you, hey, don't do in this way. Do in this way. This is the right way. So there is a technique, a standard technique. But every technique should be customized. Customization is also very important. Customization is application. Application, when you are applying the technique, then you'll have to be gentle, not very rigid. If you'll be very rigid in application of the technique, then that also is not right way. So yoga teaches you that, of course, there are some techniques, but you have to be mindful. You have to be gentle to yourself, not force yourself. Customize, because your limitation is different. You have different strength, flexibility. So you should not copy each other. When you are practicing, practice in your way. Don't copy your co-practitioner. Your co-practitioner can be better, can be lesser also than you. But don't be, deviated. And also don't encourage people to copy you. Even I am the teacher, then I should not force you to copy me. I should just encourage you that this is the way, and now apply yourself. Like staying in an asana. When you stay in a posture, that makes difference. Even in pranayama, when you hold the breath, then that makes difference. Only inhaling and exhaling will not become pranayama. Pranayama is holding. Ayam means hold. That is called pranayama. But holding would be different. Yours holding would be different than her. Hers will be different than her. Mine will be different than you. Okay, so application should be always very flexible. But the techniques are techniques. Common techniques like in breath, out breath. You have to breathe in and you have to breathe out. This is common for everybody. Okay. And you have to hold. This is common for everybody. Simply meditation. In meditation, your mind has to be focused. But not everybody's mind is same focused. Some people's mind jump 1,000 times in 1 minute. 1,000 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. A fraction of second mind wanders. But some people have so much attention, their mind in 1 minute will jump only maybe thrice or five times. Or if you are advanced practitioner, then your mind will not move even in 1 minute, not even once. So application is different. And that depends on your training also, on your practice also. The more you practice, the more perfect you become. This is the same thing in every practice, in every technique, whether asana, pranayama, meditation, or like you're learning music. In music also, the more you practice, the more perfect you become. But there is no end of perfection. Even the masters also believe that I'm still learner. Although they have reached very height, even they are so much perfect, even they will do in sleep, they will do it perfectly. They are so master. That is why they are called masters. Masters means perfect one. But still, master still learns because there is no end of learning. In every field, in every subject. So you have to focus on your practices, application of the techniques, but at the same time, you have to be gentle. But if you are not able to practice 100%, then don't feel happy that no problem, I will customize. I'll keep customizing the things. I'll keep compromising the things. Not for long. Develop your capacity to do in the ideal way. If your inhalation is 1 minute inhalation and 1 minute exhalation, then that means your pranayama is good. So your in-breath should be 1 minute, 60 seconds in-breath, and 60 seconds out-breath. Then your vitality will be different. Your skin will glow. Your eyes will have sparkle. You look younger, even in old days, if you do pranayama. And this is pranayama. Long inhale, long exhale. Then second technique is holding. First level is long inhale, long exhale. Second level is holding. And third level is double holding. In second level, you hold inside only, not outside. But in third level, you hold inside and also outside. That is third level. And fourth level is called a spontaneous holding. A spontaneous means naturally you don't try and your breath holds. And this is like seized. Your breath is seized. You'll find that your body is not breathing. Kevalya Kumbhak. It's called Keval Kumbhak. You have also learned from IGNU, right? So Keval Kumbhak is a spontaneous holding. That is advanced pranayama. There you have to reach. Okay. So that is in everything, in meditation also. If you can absorb yourself in deep meditation for an hour, if you cannot move your body till 1 hour, that means you are in intermediate state. Intermediate practitioners, they don't move their bodies during meditation. If they move their bodies just to fine-tune, but their mind is so much absorbed in meditation, nothing can deviate. Even noise cannot deviate. Traffic noise, airplane noise will not disturb. But if you're a beginner, somebody is talking, you'll be disturbed. And they keep complaining, hey, there is so much noise, I cannot meditate. This is not suitable to me. Let me go to Himalayas in the cave. Isn't it? So these are complaints. Therefore, they leave their houses, they go to Himalayas, like me. In the beginning, I had left my home and went to the Himalayas. I stayed there in caves, meditating, hours and hours, living on the water, no food, nothing. For many days, only one water. For some days, no water, nothing, just on air. This is what I have lived in, that kind of discipline in the Himalayas. So these are the yogic practices, different yogic practices. And of course, if you will not eat the food, then what will happen? Your body will become very lean. My body was lean, very lean. But I could feel my prana. Could feel where is prana. That is different kind of exercise. Even Buddha also did that kind of exercise. He did 6 years, continuous 6 years in solitude. This is Indian way. Some practices for 12 years. All the Nath yogis, Nath yogis, their tradition in India, that's called Nath yoga. There's actually Hatha yoga tradition, like Gorakhnath, Matsyendranath. There is an asana, Matsyendra asana in yoga. So that is named after him. Matsyendranath was guru of Gorakhnath. So there are 9 nathas. 9 nathas. Navnath, we call it Navnath. And Shiva is believed first nath. And second nath was Matsyendranath. Third nath was Gorakhnath. Then many nath. But only 9 nathas. And 84 siddhas. In that tradition, there are 84 siddhas. 9 nathas and 84 siddhas. And what was their tradition? Every nath yogi used to go to Badrinath. That's why its name is Badrinath. Kedarnath, Badrinath. So that is Nath. So they used to go Badrinath. They used to live 12 years continuously. They were practicing yoga. And what was the main practice? Meditation. They were eating less. They were sleeping less. They were working less. And most of the time, they were remain absorbed into cosmic force, in cosmos. When you go into high altitude, your mind remains exalted. If you go on the peak of the mountain, your mind will remain on high frequencies, exalted, uplifted. When you go to the cleft, your mind will go into cleft. That helps. Therefore, Shiva lives on the mountain peak. Yogis love to go on the mountain. Even you can feel, when you go to the peak Himalayas, you will feel up. There is very pure energy. Not in all parts of the Himalayas, only in this part, Rishikesh part of Himalayas. That part is only the very most sacred in the entire Himalaya range. You can find Himalaya in Himachal Pradesh also, but they're not as pure as this part. When I ask you to chant Om, then see how long you could speak Om. If your exhalation was not longer, don't feel frustrated. Work hard. On what? On expanding the lungs. Expand the lungs. Grab the air and expand little. Not complete expanding. Not force. Not at once. Slowly. Be miser in expanding. Not lavish. What happens in pranayama, in anatomy, you learn that there is a shaft here, right? That separates your lungs with the abdomen. What is that called? Diaphragm. Okay. So when you breathe from lungs, your diaphragm goes down. That gives more space. So the more your diaphragm goes down, the more space is created. Diaphragm going down means your belly will go out, because that will push all the content in the bottom, and consequently your belly will be swelling. So you have to give, the idea is to give more space in your lungs. Not even a little amount of air goes below the diaphragm, isn't it? No amount of air goes into abdomen, in the stomach actually. Air is only in the lungs. And in lungs, in alveoli, because there is trachea, right? Windpipe. And that enters into the bronchioles, primary, secondary, tertiary bronchs. And what is the end? Alveoli. Yes. So air goes there. And because the blood is also into that, blood enters into that from the heart for oxygenation. So the longer the holding of oxygen, deeper the exchange of the gases. So your blood will suck, the capillaries will receive the oxygen, and one end of the blood capillaries will release the carbon dioxide. So that same air will suck the carbon dioxide and release. So there is exchange gap. So longer the holding, purer the blood. So expand your lungs, hold the breath, and slowly you'll find that your lungs capacity is increased. Same thing you have to practice, okay? Today there was only 30 minutes practice, but in next days you'll be practicing at least 1 hour, 1.5 hours, more pranayama and less yoga. But of course, yoga, you have to start with yoga, means asanas. Because asanas will clinch. If you'll practice pranayama immediately without practicing asanas, then you'll not have that much benefits of pranayama. Therefore, first asanas, then pranayama. And pranayama should be concluded with meditation. Meditation is expansion of consciousness. So these are three essential tools of yoga: asana, pranayama, and meditation. And all other parts are just helping tools. Like bandhas are helping, mudras are helping, mantras are helping, Ayurveda is helping. So this is just an overview, okay? This is just the common things, because you are common students, so I'm talking about common. But this is relevant to each one of you. It's relevant in pranayama, this is relevant in yoga, this is relevant in therapy, this is relevant in healing, this is relevant in everything. Even yogis who are Raja yogis, means meditation practitioners, they also practice posture. See Buddha sitting in posture. His spine is straight. Do you see? His head is in upright. His posture. And if he was alive, then if you could have checked his breathings used to be very finer all the time. So all the yogis' breathings are very rhythmic breathings. They don't breathe shallow from here. They breathe from diaphragmatic breathing. So you can see if you are yogi or not. And you become yogi with breath, prana. And if your body is breathing very rhythmic, musical breathing, then you'll find your mind is very poised. Your mind is very serene, very calm. And if your mind is calm, your eyes will be serene. Your eyes. So your personality peeps through your eyes. If inside you are restless, your eyes will tell that you are restless. Although you will try to hide, but your eyes will rebel. Your eyes will betray. Eyes are very innocent. So that is, everything is connected, right? Mind and eye, these two are connected. If your mind is calm, your eyes will be serene. If your mind is restless, your eyes will be blinking too much. If I'll ask you to practice Trataka, your eyes will tend to blink in Trataka. Why? Because your mind is restless. Vice versa. If your mind is calm, your Tatka will be fine. If your Tatka is fine, that means your mind is calm. So you can control your mind through Tatka. Means through Hatha, you can control Raja. Through body, you can control mind. And through mind, you can control your body. If your mind is very powerful, your body will be powerful, stronger. If your body is stronger, sooner or later, your mind also will be stronger. Weak body is not the right vessel of stronger mind. Okay. Healthy body is important for healthy mind. And healthy body is not possible without following certain rules, proper diet, proper exercise, proper rest also. Sleeping is also very important. Therefore, Lord Krishna has given this technique. Yukta har viharasya, yukta chestasya karmasu, yukta swapnavabodhasya, yogo bhavati dukkha. Yukta ahar vihar means balanced diet. They are the foundations of yoga. Diet is the first thing in yoga. If you're eating toxic foods and you're doing asanas, yoga, breathings, you'll find no so great progress. So diet is first thing. Because your food constructs your body. If you're eating toxic foods, your body is bound to become stiff. Fatty foods, your belly will go out. Your body will be bulky, ugly. Carbohydrates, too much carbohydrates. Carb, less carb, and more vitamins. Protein also. But when you grow older, then less protein. After 50, you have to reduce the protein.
Portions.
Protein?
Protein.
Yeah. After 50 plus, protein is required, but less, but more vitamins. And again, not extra vitamins. Yeah. If you take extra vitamin, then you will worsen your health. That will create problems. Everything you need in balance. Ahar vihar. Yukta chestasya karmasu means exercise, physical activities is also very important for health and fitness. Yukta swapnavabodhasya means sleep. You'll have to have sleep. At least 5 hours. When you are approaching 50, in 5 hours, at least 5 hours. But before 50, between 30 to 50, at least 6 hours. And after 30, 8 hours necessary.
Impossible.
But that will affect your health if you don't sleep 8 hours up to 30. And up to 18, 10 hours. Yes. Growing kids should sleep 10 hours.
Baby is holy.
And baby whole day. This is natural thing. If you are living natural life, then you will have to have this. Otherwise, you will be unnatural. Your body will be unnatural. Mothers who are pregnant could not sleep well, her babies will be affected. Sleep well. Eat well. And during pregnancy also you have to do some exercises. In pregnancy, if ladies are just relaxing, their babies will become cesarean baby. That will be, delivery will not be normal delivery. Because of lackness of movements. Movements are important for blood circulation to the baby, uterus, and also proper growth. Okay, there are lots of things. So ahar, yuktahar vihar, karma is efforts, actions, swapna, sleep. So there are 3 essential foundations: diet, exercise, and rest. Relaxation. How is that possible? 5 hours. I said after breaks. We'll have to have a break also. Nobody can practice 5 hours continuously. If there is not pro practitioner, even I can practice 5 hours continuously without giving a stop, and I not feel tired. Why? Because of biomechanism, because of application of some techniques. There's some techniques which will not drain your energy, but that will heal you. That will supply you more energies. Then you will not feel tired if your pace is different. But of course, normally 2 hours are enough of asanas. Then 1 hour pranayama, at least 1 hour. 3 hours practice. And then break. And then during break, you relax, you calm. Then theory class where you learn. So this is the right way of learning. Even I was learning in that way. This is traditional way of learning. Deep learning. Okay, deep study.